In a climate with soaring house prices, first-time homebuyers are finding it harder to enter into the housing market. In our area, we've seen the prices of homes jump up almost 30% year over year. While this era of drastic growth certainly boosts tax revenue for the Ontario government, it hinders the ability of homebuyers to purchase their first home. With this reality in mind, Ontario's Finance Minister Charles Sousa made an announcement on November 14, 2016 that the tax rebate offered to the first-time homebuyers will be increased. Currently, first-time homebuyers are eligible for a land transfer tax credit of a maximum of $2,000. This rebate applies to both new and resale homes. For example, on a home with a purchase price of $227,000, the tax payable is $2,000 and would be completely refunded. Under the proposed changes, which are scheduled to take effect on January 1, 2017, first-time homebuyers will be eligible for a refund of up to $4,000 of the land transfer tax, thus doubling the current amount. This will effectively remove the land transfer tax from the first $368,000 of a purchase price. To be eligible to receive this refund, you will need to be a first-time homebuyer who is a Canadian citizen and permanently resides here. In order to offset the cost of the increase, the land transfer tax on homes that are purchased for over $2 million will be increased from 2% to 2.5%, which, according to government officials, will bring in approximately $105 million annually, thus funding the new rebate for the first-time homebuyers. For more information on government grants and different assistance programs that are available for first-time homebuyers, please visit us at JamieAndTed.com. Let's talk a little bit about new mortgage lending rules. Since 2008, following the financial crisis, the Canadian government has introduced a number of important changes in relation to the housing market. The first changes came into effect on October 17, 2016, and relate to new lending rules. Primarily, the aim of these changes is to prevent mortgage defaults by protecting homeowners and prospective purchasers from taking on too much debt. This comes in the wake of rising house prices, which have instilled a fear that there may be a greater risk of future mortgage defaults in the event of rising interest rates. These lending rule changes are likely to have important implications for homebuyers, specifically foreign purchasers and first-time homebuyers who are looking to enter the housing market. To summarize, there are three main changes that have been introduced: the expansion of a mortgage rate stress test, new reporting rules for financial gains made from the sale of a primary residence, and restrictions on insurance for low-ratio mortgages, which came into effect on November 30, 2016. Let's talk about the first one, expansion of the mortgage rate stress test. Under the previous regime, purchasers who were able to come up with a 20% down payment were not subject to the stress test requirements, which applied to high-ratio mortgages. High-ratio mortgages are loans in situations where the purchaser had a minimum of 5% but less than 20% down payment and were thus required to obtain mortgage insurance. Following the new lending changes, a stress test will be applied to all new insured mortgages, regardless of the down payment amount. A mortgage rate stress test is aimed at ensuring that borrowers can afford to make loan payments in the event that interest rates on mortgages were to rise to the Bank of Canada's posted 5-year fixed rate, which currently sits at 4.64%. This represents a significant increase, as some lenders have a 5-year fixed rate of around 2.5%. Generally speaking, the negotiated loan price in the mortgage contract will be lower than the Bank of Canada's posted rate. The stress test also takes into account other costs related to home ownership and requires that purchasers not spend more than 39% of their total income on carrying costs. These costs include such things as mortgage payments, property taxes, heating, hydro, etc. The result of requiring a stress test for all new insured mortgages is that the purchasers will likely qualify for less money. While some purchasers may qualify for mortgages at the lower posted rates, it may be difficult or near impossible for them to qualify for the higher rates. The implications of this are that the purchasers will have to turn their minds towards less expensive property, not that they exist, save up for a larger down payment, or potentially wait until the future when their income may increase. Secondly, reporting rules for the sale of primary residences. So This change is targeted specifically at foreign purchasers out of a concern that they are falsely claiming the primary residence tax exemption when flipping homes in Canada. Under the new rules, any individual who was not a resident in Canada in the year that they acquired the property will not be able to claim the exemption for that year if the property is sold after October 1st, 2016. Furthermore, as of this tax year, all sale proceeds must be reported to the CRA. Importantly, financial gain from the sale of a primary residence remains tax-free, meaning that this new change largely does not have an impact on Canadian residents aside from the requirement to report the sale. Primarily, this requirement is intended to lessen the likelihood that those who are not entitled to the primary residence tax exemption are receiving it. Third, restrictions on insurance for low ratio mortgages. The last change, which came into effect on November 30th, 2016, is the introduction of new eligibility requirements for newly insured low ratio mortgages. Low ratio mortgages are those where the down payment is equal to 20% or more of the property's purchase price. The new restrictions effectively mean that low ratio mortgages must meet the eligibility criteria that previously only applied to high ratio insured mortgages. The new criteria to obtain a government-backed low ratio insured mortgage require a maximum amortization period of 25 years, which is down from 35. A property value that is below $1 million, a minimum credit score of 600, and that the property will be occupied by the owner. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any further questions on this or any other real estate matters, please feel free to contact us. We'd be delighted to help.